Coming up on 9 News Mornings, a day celebrating the Nuggets win ended up with 2 people getting shot. After months of recovery, they are finally ready to talk about what happened. The heat can make it harder to sleep, what you can do to get a good night of rest despite the temperature. And some teenagers are helping protect homeowners from future fires. We take a closer look at their work. 9 News Mornings starts now.
Good morning, Erica, Jordan, and Ed with you on your Friday. Congratulations. Finally here.
Thank goodness, right? Yeah, what a year this week has been. And we're going to get to see the work that those kids are doing to prevent fires. And it's going to be needed in some parts of the state today, too, because some people are under a fire watch.
Exactly right. San Luis Valley has really dried out. They're under a fire weather watch for high fire danger down there. So let's take a look at what we've got going on in our town. You see 62 degrees in Denver right now, and mostly 60s with a few 50s thrown in east and west, 40s and 50s for the high country. So you see those showers and thunderstorms. Look how heavy they get as they move into Kansas and Nebraska. That's what we were talking about yesterday. Showers and thunderstorms back again today. And once again, northeastern Colorado into Nebraska. That's where the heaviest storms will be. And not much going on along the Front Range here if we even see showers and storms as yesterday. 88 degrees for today, 85 degrees tomorrow. Still that cool down on Sunday, just 75 degrees. Then we turn right around and warm it back up. 80 on Monday. How about 85 by Tuesday?
Ed, thank you. Right now, we want to check in on your commute right now. A live look at the drive from CDOT. This is I-70 and 270 this morning, where things are running very smoothly. No major problems to report across the metro as we quickly take you to our graphics right now. A whole lot of green. We'll run through a couple of travel times. Denver to Boulder Drive under 20 on westbound Highway 36. No problems on I-25 north or south between 144th Avenue and 76.
All right, Erica, thank you. Well, if you're headed down Spear Boulevard sometime this morning, you might just see a few new changes. Several lanes will be closed through next Thursday. Denver's Department of Transportation says it will do its best to keep 2 northbound lanes open at all times. They say you should avoid the road if you can.
2 young men shot during the NBA Nuggets championship celebrations in Lodo are now back at home recovering. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us live right now in studio. Brianna, weeks later, they're finally talking about what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Good morning, Erica. So this is the first time we're hearing from the 2 victims, Trajan Hamilton and then Keith Sablon. The friends went out to downtown to have some fun and celebrate the big win that night, and instead they spent weeks in the hospital. That night, the 2 men said they were getting ready to go home when someone opened fire near 20th and Market Street. Hamilton was shot twice. Sablon was shot 3 times. Now, surveillance video from that night captured Hamilton running away from the scene, and Sablon fell behind a barrier. A week after, the friends got to see each other for the first time since the shooting. They say someone else's decision changed their lives, but they're glad they're not recovering alone.
If I feel like I'm maybe like struggling or I'm not like progressing as well, I could like talk to Keith and like can kind of like understand that it could have been worse, or you know, like things are getting better, that we'll be okay.
The 2 say life has looked very different for them since the shooting in June, and it hasn't been easy. Hamilton celebrated his birthday in the hospital with yet another surgery, and Sablon had to go back to the hospital due to a medical scare last week.
Certainly a tough situation, not the way they wanted to end those celebrations, but glad to see at least that they are on the mend. Brianna, thanks so much for breaking that down.
An Inglewood man wants to know who killed his twin brother last month. Denver police say they found 41-year-old David Barthels shot near 12th and North Yates in West Denver. Michael Barthels says that his brother was full of life and one of a kind. A few weeks after David's death, police released photos of someone they believe was a suspect. The images appear to be taken from a surveillance video. Michael says he has canvassed the area with hundreds of flyers looking for the suspect.
I can't sleep at night knowing this, he's just walking around and it's just like that. And there's got to be somebody out there that knows something.
Michael says he does not believe his brother knew the suspect. Denver police say that no arrests have been made and say they are still investigating the circumstances of the shooting.
Right now, Denver police are searching for the person who shot and killed a man on Ray Street near 17th, just blocks from City Park. The shooting happened around 6:30 Thursday morning. The victim was alive when officers arrived, but later died at the hospital. If you have any information, DPD wants to hear from you.
Arvada police say they have arrested 3 suspects accused of shooting 3 homeless people outside a 7-Eleven last week. Police say 2 men shoplifted from the 7-Eleven off Ralston and Wadsworth near Old Town Arvada last Friday. Friday. Police say that homeless people outside the store confronted them. After some sort of fight, police say the suspects pulled away and fired at the group outside. They hurt 3 people. All were okay. They have arrested Zamil Kane, Raymond Moore, and Priscilla Mendez. No word yet on what charges they may face.
A retired Denver police detective is facing charges accused of pulling a gun on a man inside Southwest Plaza. This all happened Wednesday night in the mall's food court. Witnesses told Jeffco Sheriff's deputies there was an argument between 2 men and 67-year-old Martin Vigil. He pointed a gun at the other man. Mall security was called in. Vigil told police that he was a peace officer. They convinced him to put the gun down and they arrested him. No one was hurt and no shots were fired. Vigil retired from DPD in 2019. Since he was no longer an officer, he faces charges of impersonating one along with felony menacing.
There's a new state law banning young adults from buying and owning guns. A gun advocacy group called Rocky Mountain Gun Owners says it's filing for a temporary restraining order against that law. It goes into effect on Monday. So back in April, the group sued to reverse the law that raises the age to buy all guns from 18 to 21 in Colorado. They tried again in June, but nothing's been decided, so they are going for the restraining order.
It can be really tough for homeowners to keep up with fire mitigation. Physically, it's hard work, and financially, it's not cheap to do either. 9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles shows us how a group of teenagers is helping homeowners in Boulder County get it done.
Sometimes we scatter the slash, and then sometimes we take it back into a truck or something.
Growing up in the metro,
I live in the center of Aurora.
Sumera Alexander never really thought about wildfire prevention.
No, I don't have to do any of this at home.
But this summer, Sumera and this crew could be the difference between a home saved or lost.
They're doing the limbing still. We've removed the junipers that we needed to remove.
It's a Boulder County program, Wildfire Partners, helping homeowners with financial need get this important work done. The labor comes from teenagers through Teens Inc. Lincoln Hill Teamworks program.
Homeowners, they understand the importance of the work we're doing. You know, we've allowed people to keep their home insurance. Someone got certified and was able to maintain that home insurance where otherwise they would have lost it within a year.
18-year-old Oren Dutton grew up in Nederland.
Being from a rural area, I think fire's been really close to my community.
On this property, the group cleared fuels, logs, juniper, and needles. They trimmed grass and limbed trees. Kids are getting paid for this work, too. A summer job with purpose.
This was the best opportunity to introduce myself into nature and being outside more.
And I think it's the greatest summer job because you get to be outside, you get to be meeting new people, making new friends, making money, helping out people in the community, and just sort of giving back while also like I said, being outside and enjoying the nature that we have here.
Jennifer Meckles, 9 News.
Great group of kids there. Dozens of them are part of this Teens Inc. program. This was the 10th property that they worked on in Boulder County this summer.
The FCC is finding an illegal robocalling operation for a record-breaking $300 million. The FCC says the investigation involved the largest robocalling operation they have ever seen, made up of scammers who placed 5 billion auto-warrant calls to more than 500 million phone numbers for 3 months in 2021. Those calls violated federal spoofing laws by using more than 1 million caller ID numbers to trick people into picking up their phones. The 2 leaders of the operation are banned for life from making telemarketing calls.